Hello and welcome to Live in the Moment. I'm Michael.
I'm Steven.
And we're broadcasting live from Tampa, Florida on this sunny June 18th.
It is a sunny June 18th.
Yes.
How are you doing today, bro?
I'm doing pretty good. We had a pretty good Father's Day yesterday.
We did?
With, our mother's father.
Our grandfather, yes.
Yes. Our mother's father and mother came over and
we had a
had
nice
ourselves
meal.
a grand old time. Yeah, he's 90. So, and he really enjoyed it. He really said he enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And that was good. It was nice.
Yeah.
He doesn't usually. He's not usually like at the end of it, oh, that was great. You know?
Yeah. And I never realized that until he was saying, wow,
right.
that was great.
But he really enjoyed it,
Yeah.
so that was nice. Our actual father...
was out of town making money, doing what he had to.
Is he in Missouri or Kansas? He's in Kansas City, I think.
One of them.
So,
He's in one of them. I
Yeah.
think Kansas.
okay. Yeah, and then Alex, our third guy, is also up there. But he actually left yesterday.
He'll end up being back, we're going back out of town the week after.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Next week?
I think that's next week. Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
next week. Going out of town. So I'm going with him, but I think we'll have time to do the podcast before that. So we should have it
Okay.
for that week.
That'll probably be my last podcast for about 2 months because...
Yeah, we can get that one in. Let's try to get everyone in on that one.
Yeah, because I'm going out of town, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'm going to Middlebury, Vermont. There's a school up there called Middlebury College, and they have a summer language program where you actually immerse yourself entirely in the language of your choice. They have a bunch of them, including Chinese. I don't remember if they have both Mandarin and Cantonese, but Chinese actually is a family of languages. There's not one Chinese language.
That'd be a very useful one.
Yeah, Mandarin
Global commerce.
is the more common one, but Cantonese is the second. You know, it's right there up with Mandarin. There's a bunch of other minority ones that no one ever bothers to learn outside of China, but they also have Japanese and all of the European ones, pretty much all of the major ones: Dutch, German, Spanish, French, Italian, Russian, Polish.
They teach it to you, but they're very confused the whole time.
yes. The Polish one is confused all the time. No, but it's an interesting concept. You basically go up there. They, of course, they get you oriented and all of that. But then after the first weekend, you show up on a Friday. After that first weekend, you sign a pledge to speak and communicate in nothing but your target language for 7 weeks. 7 whole weeks. Right. And
Yeah, you better know it by the end of that.
or at least be able to communicate in it. Maybe you're not about to write, plays or anything in it, but you can at least communicate. Like, you wouldn't feel lost if someone came up to you and started speaking that language.
Yeah, and that's really the baseline of knowing a language.
Right. Which is a lot better than what most, like, high schools and that sort of thing teach, because you learn poor pronunciation, first of all, because most of the time those teachers only ever studied it academically.
Yeah, if it's like American-born,
Right.
never really, like, they learned Spanish later on, but
Right.
didn't really try that hard on the accent.
Well, I guess I can't say most of the time.
Not most of the time.
When
I
think
had
back-
a really great Spanish
Right.
teacher.
Well, she was actually Hispanic, right?
Yeah.
So, right.
I
Yeah.
think,
Spanish was her first language.
Dominican Republic?
My Spanish 2 teacher was that
Amazing.
way. And actually, my Spanish 1 teacher in 9th grade, he was a very white guy. But, clearly not Hispanic is what I mean.
Okay.
And fairly pale, too. But, he at least had spent some time living in Latin America, and his accent wasn't horrible. It wasn't, como estás, anything like that, which is...
Yeah.
Really terrible.
Como estes?
Yeah. But even then, you're never really tested on your ability to pronounce it in high school, even when you have teachers who can pronounce it well. So you hear them saying it, and then there was never a test where there was a section where the teacher asked you a question, you had to answer them, and then the teacher graded you on how well you pronounced everything.
See.
Or did yours do that?
Yeah, see, it's hard for me to remember exactly, but I mean, she definitely did a lot of verbal testing too.
Did she? Okay. Okay,
No, she's really good. Yeah, no,
it's a very mixed bag out there. There's some better
it
than
is.
others.
Yeah,
so
of course. Yeah.
hopefully your kids will get teachers like you had.
Yeah,
in high
no,
school.
really good.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I learned a lot. Like, I've forgotten a lot because I haven't utilized it.
Right.
But I'm sure I'd pick it up again pretty quickly because, man, it was a really good class.
Yeah. Somehow I managed to remember a lot of Spanish. I had kind of a mixed bag of teachers.
Yeah, if I see it written down, I'd get it, but I'd have to reacclimate myself to how it sounds.
Yeah.
Because I had kind of gotten familiar.
Yeah.
But I was never very quick.
Yeah. There's a lot that's lacking from a lot of formal education. But that's what I love about this kind of program, because they just dump you into it, and then you have no choice. If you speak English, they throw you out. That's what the pledge is. That's the point of the pledge. You know this going into it. You don't sign up for the program if you think you can't handle it.
Yeah.
It's like, I think you
Yeah.
even have plenty of opportunities to withdraw if you decide you can't handle it. But if you go there and you just start speaking English because you're tired and frustrated of speaking that target language, they can
Yeah.
throw you out and not give you a refund. And that's not to be mean. It's because that's why people are going there. And if you're going to ruin that for other people,
Yeah, no,
You
that's
need
not
to leave.
acceptable. Yeah.
yeah. So, luckily, I already speak German reasonably well. I mean, I make a lot of mistakes. I'm not going to pretend like I'm native level or anything.
No, but
remotely like
we were
that.
in Germany,
Right.
and you did okay.
And yeah, and
You
I've
were
gotten
able
a
to
lot better since
communicate
then.
pretty reasonably, yeah.
I've gotten a lot
I would
better since
imagine. That was a few years.
It was 4
2
years
years
ago,
ago.
almost.
4 now?
Yeah, it will be
been a while.
4 by the end of the year. Yeah, so I'm not going to be totally lost. I'll probably get frustrated, but I'm not sure how much of that is going to be because I keep screwing up or I can't think of how to express myself, or it will be other people not understanding me because their level isn't up to it yet. But they have 4 levels. They have level 1, level 1.5, level 2, level 3, and level 4.
Okay.
So one is for absolutely beginners.
Mhm.
1.5 is for you maybe studied it in high school. You're not a total
Okay.
beginner,
Mhm.
but you really need to start from the beginning. Like, they don't give you the absolute basics. Like, you
Mhm.
already know how to say hello, good morning, how are you?
Mhm.
But the
Yeah,
ground rules.
yeah. You have.
And I applied to go into level 2, but I'm pretty sure I took my. You take a placement test online. I'm pretty sure from that placement test I'll at least qualify for level 2. But they give you a final placement test there. And
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Verbally talking to
they
you.
interview you, and
Oh, yeah.
they're native speakers interviewing you. It's not just
Good.
someone with a degree in that language. It's an actual native speaker. Interviews in the target language to determine your proficiency, and then that they make the final decision at that point which level you're going to go in at. And I think I might be level 3 or 4, but it really depends, because one of the core things about German is they have their noun cases are a lot more strict than they are in English. We do have noun cases in English, but it's a lot easier for us to figure out which one to use, and half the time we ignore when people make mistakes anyway. But in German, they've got one extra case, and then they have gender on top of that, and then every case is different based on the gender. So it's like it's challenging for an English speaker to get that down. I'm not really intimidated by it. I don't feel like, oh, I feel so stupid I can't get this. I just know personally I haven't put the time in studying what I need to study in order to get that. And it's not about the rules, because I understand the rules. Because when I write, I can just look the word up in the Duden, which is the German dictionary, see which gender it is, and they actually have a chart that tells you this is how you inflect it for each of the cases. So I understand mechanically how to use the rules, but there's that instantaneous being able to pick the right thing.
That fluency.
Yes, the fluency, knowing exactly which one to pick. So I'm hoping that won't hold me back, but it might. And if it does, I understand they're picking the level based on what I need to learn and what I would learn given the level. So I will respect whatever level they give me, but I'm hoping 3 or 4. Because, I don't want to have to go back.
Yeah.
I hope I
I
enjoy it
gotcha.
enough that I
Yeah.
want to go back, but I don't want to have to go back to finish it off. I want to come out of that being like, yeah, I can speak German. So that's been what I've been super excited about.
Well, that's good.
Because for you and Alex and our father, it's all business, so it's not particularly exciting. You know, it's like you get paid.
We're doing
for
a lot
it,
of work.
but
Working really hard. But something that is exciting, and I'm going to get to that. But Harry Potter has been on demand on HBO
Yep.
here, and I've been watching. Colleen and I have watched through like all of them at this point. And it's just a lot of fun. And one thing that, as we were watching it just really made me want to go to Universal and Islands of Adventure because they have
Right.
that Harry Potter world
in Orlando.
in Orlando, that Harry Potter section, and like we've been going for Halloween Horror Nights. That's been the main time we go, but we haven't gone like normally. So actually, we decided we're gonna get the annual pass, so then we can get, because we were gonna go for Halloween Horror Nights again this year, but we were going to also like stay on property. We wanted to really have a great time, but the extra benefit of the annual pass is now we could go to the normal park as well, and everything has a discount. We have like a parking spot. We get
Nice.
discounts on the hotels, all the food when we're there,
Right.
all that jazz. So it's not as big of a hurt because it's gonna cost a bit.
Yeah.
It's a vacation. That's the point.
Right.
But I'm gonna enjoy that. So actually Wednesday I'm gonna go.
Cool. Yeah.
It's been a while since I've had a real break like that.
Actually, sorry for the cut, but we had to go deal with this little guy. So if you hear barking or squeaking in the background, it's this guy. You were talking about Harry Potter before we broke.
Oh, it was, yeah, and I'm going to Universal.
Right, and
Wednesday,
that you were
so I'm
going
pretty
to
excited.
Universal.
I'm pretty excited. Yeah, that's my first real vacay in a little bit.
Yeah, because you mentioned that HBO has had the Harry Potters on there, and actually, 2 months ago or whenever it was, I saw that it's been on there for a while, and I went ahead and I've been reading actually Harry Potter in German,
That's right.
so reading it was just made me itch to see it again, and I saw that HBO had it, and I also saw that Westworld was starting up its second season. I was like, great, I can marathon all of the Harry Potters, I can watch season 2 of Westworld, and then I can cancel the subscription because I'll be done watching it for a while, And that's really how that stuff should work. I don't mind giving HBO money, but if I'm not actually watching them, there's no point. So it's great to be able to just pop in for 2 months and then cancel it until the next,
reasonable amount of time.
Yeah. So, so yeah, that's what I did. I signed up and I marathoned all 8 of the Harry Potter movies. So I'm right there with you. And actually, our mother's been watching them too on HBO because she actually has cable because she's old. So she's actually watched the Harry Potters as they've come on HBO through normal programming. Do you remember that? How that worked? I mean, man.
Yeah. I still watch some stuff.
Yeah, I'm just making cracks because cable's on the way out.
It is, though.
Yeah.
It really is. Because even all the stuff that you get out of cable is now available online somehow.
Usually,
at
yeah.
this point.
Because
Yeah,
it
it's
seems
pretty
that
much
all the
all of it.
publishers, all of the companies, the big publishing companies have figured out that cable is dying. So they're making sure that it doesn't take them out with it.
Yeah.
So, and they're doing, it's good. Good for us.
Oh, yeah. Because it's just so many extra charges on top of your bill with the
Right.
cable boxes and all the extra. Because
Yeah.
they just sneak the crap in there. All these
Yeah.
extra. Awful. So if you could just pay for internet,
Right, and that's
there you go.
That's the dumb thing about it to me is that they're trying so hard to keep us on obsolete services, and it's not like they don't already provide the replacement service,
Yeah.
It's like they're just trying so hard. I mean, I just get bombarded with all of these things trying to convince me to sign up for cable, and I had it when I first moved into my apartment almost 6 years ago. And, it was fine, but it was kind of like, $30 or $40 a month, and I didn't watch it all that much, so I got rid of it.
Yeah, not worth it.
Yeah, it just wasn't worth it. So So they've just been trying and trying. There's no way they can make it worth it. It just isn't. Not with what's out there now.
There's too much content that's freely available. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, half the time I end up watching YouTube.
Yeah.
And they can't give me YouTube through cable. And if they did, I would feel ripped off because I already get it through the internet connection.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm curious how many more years cable will still be a thing. Because I think it's gonna require some generational changes.
Yeah, just kind of phasing out with the generation.
Right, because I'd imagine the bulk of their subscribers are older folks,
Mm-hmm.
folks in their retirement age, particularly, because it seems to be like anyone north of 45, it's like a mixed bag until you get to 60, and then they all just have cable or satellite or whatever, but some kind of traditional provider.
All right, well, we've been living in the moment for quite a few moments now.
Oh yeah,
And, I feel like it's
yeah,
it's about time we
probably about time.
we call it.
So thanks for joining us today. Again, I'm Michael.
I'm Steven.
This has been Live in the Moment.
We'll catch you guys next week.